Welcome back to Redneck's Dirty Hands. I'm Pete, and today my buddy Jim dropped off his 2019 Wolverine X2 Special Edition. It's like Wolverine 1 with twice the fun. This nice machine here has got about 160 hours on it, or around 2,000 kilometers, I guess. So he brought it in, wanted a service done on her, an oil change, and he's got a leaky rear wheel on it. So I figured no problem, we could take care of that. And while it's here, might as well take advantage of maybe do a comparison. We got the YXZ over there and my Viking there, so it looks like we got the whole fleet. I mean, you know, it's kind of nice, you know, we've got the whole fleet here. You know, if you're going from like a performance line, you know, we got good, better, and yeah, top dog right there. Jimmy Boy's X2 here is in really nice shape. You know, he's a good old fella, takes care of his stuff, and he doesn't abuse her too much, but yeah, she's a nice rig. These things got, you know, just stock 12-inch rims on there. I don't know what these are, 26s, I think. Yeah, 26-inch tires, so nothing too aggressive or whatever. It's got the nice plastic doors, you know. It's kind of like the YXZ. It's got the handle on the inside there. Special edition. It's got the cargo box, you know. It just does do the dump. Not too bad. Good for using around the farm. And underneath there, you got the 850 twin. Nice one. Yeah, it's got decent shocks on it. It's got the remote reservoir there, you know, they're adjustable. It's got the sway bars front and back. It's got the winch on her. He's got the good shocks on the front too, and nice seats. I like how they got the Yamaha stitch. They're nice, comfy material too. Nice and squishy. They're better than the Viking seats. So yeah, I got the Wolverine parked in the middle for a reason. You know, you started off with I got my Viking. It's a 700 single cylinder with the 3 seats. You know, that's the workhorse. It's got the big dump box and everything on the back. Of course, I got the big tires and the lift kit in it. But then you move into the middle, the Wolverine. It's got the dump box too, but she's just a 2-seater. It's got the 850, a little more power. It's got better shocks, a little better suspension, you know. And then you move over to the YXZ. It's a 2-seater, 4-wheel drive, but it's got the 1000 or the 998 3-cylinder in there, so way more performance. It's got the better suspension, so yeah, you got the let's go to work, let's work and play, and send it. The Wolverine's nice. I mean, it's got a couple of cup holders there, you know. The handbrake's easy to get to. The shifter works nice, you know. It's got a little cubby spot there. You got to put some extra switches right here. The typical Yamaha cluster, you know, nothing too fancy, but you do get a power outlet and a glove box and a center console. You can hide some goodies in there. I bet that fits a 6-pack. It's even got the adjustable tilt column. I don't think my Viking has that. I'd have to double check. It's got the electric power steering too, makes it nice. So just as a comparison, that's a stock X2, you know, that's basically a stock YXZ. That's got 27-inch tires on 14-inch rims. That one's got 12-inch rims with 26s, but height-wise, you know, wheelbase, the YXZ is a little bit longer, a little bit wider. They kinda, you know, similar height. You do sit up a little bit higher in the X2 than you do the YXZ. This is pure performance. This is dual purpose. And then yeah, and you got my monster truck, the Viking there. My Viking did basically start out almost the same height and size as that. I think there was only 25s or 26s on it when I bought it. I've upgraded to 14-inch rims and 30-inch tires. I made a lift for that, so I've got her sitting quite high. You know, we got quite a bit more ground clearance than the other two do. You know, that's like when The Rock first joined the WWE, and you know, that's after a few years of training and pharmaceutical help. And then, I mean, of course, for storage, there's huge differences. The YXZ, you got nothing. You just got that shelf. Like, I don't know, you don't strap anything down, she gone. And then you know, the Wolverine, it's got a nice little dump box. It's all plastic lined inside. It's got the tailgate with an actual handle like a pickup truck. You know, comes down like a pickup truck one does. You know, it's pretty handy. It does tilt. It's not as big as the Viking. That's what she said. The Viking, of course, has the old school, just like the Rhinos, kind of cheesy this way. They were cutting costs or whatever, but as you can see, you can hold quite a bit in there. She's heavy duty. This is all steel. That's good. And I mean, the Viking's got some heavy duty shocks in there, but they don't have any remote reservoirs or anything, whereas these ones are upgraded. And then of course you got the huge podiums on that thing, so I mean, you could probably jump that off the roof of the house and be all right. This, not so much. Of course, they do have the dump box, so you just pull the little lever. It's got the gas shocks that tip her up. Same with the Viking. Oh, she's quite a bit heavier. Oh, especially with the chains in there. But then you get looking through here, like the Viking box tips at quite a steeper angle. This one's a little bit better if you're planning on actually dumping stuff out of it. Like, there's a better shot of it there. You can see how steep this is, and this one's still kind of leaned down. And you get a little more room to work in here. You know, it is just a single cylinder. You know, it's not taking up a whole lot of space up in there. There's a lot of empty space. Fuel tanks over here, but easy to do maintenance on these things. And I guess we're gonna find out how easy it is to do maintenance on this fella. It's a little bit tighter to get in here, but I mean, you can. And I mean, as far as access to the engine goes for the YXZ, it's right there. Yeah, right there. Like the old Chevys, the old square bodies, where you just lift open the hood, crawl right in the engine bay, and hang out. I can touch all of it right here. The Viking's quite a bit little, you know, bare bones. He just does have the little half doors on it, you know. I like it because it's a 3-seater. You can hop on in. It's got the power steering as well, you know, the park and brake. The shifter's easy to get to. It's got the double wide holy crap handle. Same selectable. I think it's the same switches on all these things, but I've got more cup holders. I mean, the shocks on the YXZ are just out of this world. They're huge. But same as the Wolverine's got the inside handle there, and oh, a beer down there. Oopsie. But yeah, a little bit different in the matter of you just have, you know, your shifter for drive, reverse, and then your paddles. When you click her in the drive, you shift up, shift down, handbrake, got your 2-wheel drive, lights, all that stuff, 4-wheel drive. It's got the nicer cluster in this, more like the street bikes and the snowmobiles and stuff, as opposed to the generic clusters that are in those things. But I'd say the seats are basically the same as what's in the Wolverine, so, you know, they're nice, they're comfy. I mean, they're all Yamahas, they're all good. You know, having all these nice Yamahas here is very peaceful, you know, it's like yoga, yummy day. So I think what I'll do is I'll get that in, I'll do the service on her, get all the things done that he wanted done, and then maybe we'll have a little fun. All right, we got Jim's Wolverine in the shop here. He was saying the last week or 2 weeks ago, he was going into the fishing hole there and popped the bead off that right rear tire. So he's been losing air ever since. I think we got some dirt packed around the bead on there, so we'll pop it off, check it out. And then we'll do spill and fill, oil change on this thing. He went to the local dealer there, Blackstock Motorsports, to pick up an oil change kit for this thing. And he told them, you know, 2019 Wolverine. He said, yeah, no problem. Brought him up the kit and said that'll be $108. And I think as soon as they said that, his butthole puckered. He's like, what? It's like, you're not doing the oil change. I just want the oil. And they're like, yeah, it's $108 just for 4 liters of oil, filter, and I think you get 1 or 2 crush washers in there. I mean, the Yamalube's good oil and all that, but $108 for, you know, 4 liters of oil, and that's why you couldn't get any gloves during the COVID thing. They were all in these kits. A Yamaha oil filter, 3 crush washers. How many freaking drain bolts are in this thing? Oh, and don't forget the paper funnel that you get with it too. I mean, the price of things are just getting ridiculous. So I had a hand. $100, over $100 for 4 liters of oil, and it's not even the good stuff that you could smoke. All right, well, we'll get her lifted up and start draining the oil. Now that kit, I'm kind of confused. I had 3 crush washers in there. That means she's got 3 drain holes down there. I mean, typical guy, didn't pay enough attention in health class, I guess. I thought she only had 2. So I guess we'll just pop the box on there, and we'll go fishing in the dark for these drain holes. Well, there's one on the bottom of the oil can there. Oh, Jim, went and undercoated this thing. Paw. Well, that's $50 added to the bill. I'm just kidding, Jim. I'm not going to add anything to your bill because you undercoated it. But, you know, I know you like to take care of your stuff, but don't undercoat your vehicle and then take it to the mechanic and be like, hey, you want to get all up in there and fix that? Well, crawling underneath there, big hole in the skid plate here, and it looks like there's 2 drain bolts side by side. I'm not sure why they would have 2 like that. Maybe they had a surplus of drain bolts. Like, hey, what do we do with these extra drain bolts? Put 2 in there. Okay. It's the new 2 cylinders, so you know everything's all about 2. It's the X2. It's 2 cylinders, 2 drain plugs, and the oil costs too much. So I mean, we'll just crack the cap on the valve cover loose first, and then the oil filter's not in too bad of a spot. She's you know, right there, pretty easy to get at, so should be able to spin that off no problem. And then it's just the 2 drain bolts down in there, the one on the oil tank, so we'll put a pan underneath it, get them all draining, spin the new filter on, and yeah, this should be pretty quick and simple. Warmed it up, pulled the cap loose on the valve cover, pulled the cap loose on the oil tank, pulled all 3 of those drain bolts out, and then set her back on level ground, just let her drain. So, you know, we'll figure a beer should be long enough to let that drain. Okay, so I got all the drain bolts back in, the oil filter swapped, and checking out, oh, that's upside down. Checking out the owner's manual there for the oil capacity specifications, and yeah, oil change and filter replacement. 3.3 liters, or basically 3.5 quarts. That means that this fancy $100 oil change kit, you know, $108 for 4 liters of oil, you ain't even using all of them. You're only using 3 and like a third of these, because these are all 1 liter. So yeah, nice one. Yeah, if Jim was butthurt about paying $100 for 4 liters of oil, just wait till he finds out not even gonna use it all. I mean, CEOs at Yamaha really sharpened their pencil on that one. Sell them more oil than they can use. Domo arigato, Mr. Ripoffo. Well, anyway, I guess that means we got to use every little bit of this kit. So I think I'm just going to dump a liter in the valve cover, and then I'll dump 2 down in the oil tank, and we'll start from there. All right, well, the oil's poured in, the filter screwed on. Let's crank her up and let her run for a bit, and we'll double check the level, but I put the 3.3 liters in. Oh, it just purrs away. We'll let her run for a little bit, and then we'll double check the level. Should be good, and then we'll fix that tire. Well, something ain't adding up. I ran it, put the 3.3 liters in there, checked it, wasn't even showing on the dipstick, so I ended up putting all 4 liters in there. And with exactly all 4 liters on there, I don't know if you can see that, that sucker is full right to the top. She's perfect. So the 3.3 liters in the owner's manual doesn't even register on the dipstick, you know. The exact 4 liters in there, perfect right to the top of the full line. So whoever makes the owner's manual needs to talk to the people that make the oil change kit, because they're getting a cross message going on here. So yeah, not Mr. Ripoffo. More like Tomo Arigato, that was a typo. Underneath this hood panel, there's a bit of a secret that maybe not everybody knows about. I mean, it's your typical stuff, your rad fill tool kit, you know, your battery, fuses, all your relays and stuff are under here, your air filter and everything, but right on here you've got your rabbit mode and turtle mode. You flip her over to there, she only gives you so much throttle, so you can't get full speed. That's gonna come in real handy later. Might be lining up a race there later on, and there might be a wager of a case of beer in there, and I think I'm gonna win. Alright, let's pop this wheel off and have a boo, see where the leak is. Peel the valve stem out of there. Kind of a nice rim design. Got the hole cut there, tucks that down so you don't knock your valve stem out on rocks or twigs or anything. Break the bead on her. Other side. Oh, this one's tight. There we go. Okay, we'll peel her off. Oh, I don't know where he was driving, but that don't look like mud. Ugh, gross. Another $50 added there, Jim. No wonder why the tire was leaking. It's a crappy tire. Peel her off the rim here. almost touched it. Ugh. Just like so. And yeah, there is a bunch of dirt on the inside of the beads there, so we'll clean that all up, get all the dirt out of the bead of the tire, and then we'll hit it with some bead sealer when we put her all back together. Let me introduce you to the Wire Chucker 3000. You got to engage your safety squints when you turn this sucker on. Put a little bit of bead sealer on a new valve stem here. Pop that sucker in there. Just like so. And put a little bit of bead sealer on the bead. So I got the bead sealer on the rim, the bead of the tires cleaned up, and these are directional tires, rotational. This is the right side, so we do want it going that way, but I mean, if you forget which way the tire went on, the hoop goes on the outside. Like so. And we'll just double check it, and I'm going to set it to 10 psi. I know a lot of guys always, you know, rule of thumb for four-wheelers and all that is like 3 to 5 psi, but I mean, this thing's a lot heavier than a regular four-wheeler, so, you know, I think 10 psi is a good number. If he wants to air it up or down from there, that's on him. Well, the tire's back on. They're all aired up. I put them all at the even pressure, so if he wants to adjust them down, you know, for better traction, he can, but, you know, figure 10 psi is a good starting point all the way around, and, you know, it's a 2019 Yamaha. Like, what could be wrong with it? It's got 2,000K on it. This thing's mint, so I say we test out the cup holders and go for a cruise. Let's see here. We're going for a long ride. No, let's go. We're just going for a short ride. All right, let's go for a rip. This thing is so quiet. Wait a minute. This thing's topping out. Wait a second. This thing's topping out at 38. I forgot I put it in turtle mode. Let's go back to rabbit. Try this again. Thing works pretty good, but repping it around, I don't know if it's the undercoating oil he's got sprayed on there or whatever, but this thing stinks, you know, so let her cool down. Just I'll cool down too. Alright, well, the job's all done. Buddy Jim's here to pick up his X2 there, but I said to him, you know, I kind of want to do a little bit of a showdown. The Viking, I know it's only a 700 single cylinder, that's an 850 twin, but I got high hopes for my Viking, you know. I'm sure that one's a little bit quicker, but how about if you win, service is free. If I win, 30 pack of these guys. Perfect. Let's go. So we got the two machines. Jim's gonna give her a go. We got a drag strip, and we got a camera girl. All right, you feeling lucky, punk? Over. These young guys think they're so fast. I say I get a 30-pack of Bud Light. He says he gets a rematch because I guess with age comes wisdom. He actually pays attention to the dash on his machine, and it shows a little picture of a turtle on there. So we got to redo it and wrap it. Okay, whenever you're ready, darling. Well, I guess my little cheating did work for a little bit. In turtle mode, I smoked you. But cheaters never actually win, so switched into rabbit. Yeah, the Wolverine. The guys even got the shirt that matches. Wolverines take out the Vikings, no problem. But it's time for the YXZ to settle the score. Yeah. We'll see how. What do you think?
Different game.
Yeah.
Try to keep up.
All right. Okay, well, I guess the Wolverine takes it over the Viking, but the YXZ takes it all. You know, I guess I'm not getting a case of beer for cheating anyway. I have one. I have one beer. So you got your service for free. It was fun working on it. You know, it's a great machine. You know, and it was kind of fun having all three of the, you know, Yamaha brands here today. A little bit of a rip to us, you know. Perfect. Thanks for coming down and letting us do that. And, you know, yeah, thanks for tuning in while watching the video. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. You know, we enjoy doing videos like this. And as always, take her easy.